This is Chris Hume with the Lancaster Patriot. I'm currently outside of Amos Miller's organic farm operation here in Birmingham, Pennsylvania. There are currently 2 marked state trooper vehicles here, 3 other official use vehicles. I attempted to enter the building inside. A state trooper turned me away and said that they are executing a search warrant on Amos Miller's operations here. I have not been able to make contact with Amos Miller yet, but once again, Amos Miller's property here in Birmingham, Pennsylvania, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Law enforcement is once again harassing Amos Miller for serving his neighbors. And here we have a search warrant being executed, not allowing media to enter the building. Stay tuned, for this is a developing story. We will have updates as we have a search warrant being executed on Amos Miller's property right now as I speak.
Oh, have I been in the screen the entire time? Everybody, I'm not wearing sunglasses to be too cool for school, but I kinda like it. You see, I can pretend to be looking at the camera the entire time and looking down. Yeah, if I've been in screen the entire time, I didn't actually know. So I hope I wasn't picking my nose or anything. Good afternoon. I have to wear the sunglasses just until my wife gets back because when I went for a jog, I took my sunglasses out of the car and then left my glasses in the car. And then she took the car with my glasses and every spare pair of glasses that I have. Volume is low, Viva. My good buddy said, Viva, are you making a shtick about the audio every episode, or is it, are you genuinely, having inconsistencies? And I said, I don't know why the audio changes from one episode to the next. See, I got the thing here. I got the little button. Hold on. You know what? Not that I'm going to say that person might be trolling me. Let me go to locals. Is audio good? So my wife will be back in a few minutes. She'll give me my regular glasses. I got some really goofy old glasses. This old pair here seems to be missing a lens for some reason. And this pair, I can't see jack squat out of this pair. Okay, so locals is telling me the audio is good. So someone might be playing a game with me because I'm very susceptible to these types of games. Good afternoon, everybody. What's up? I'm back in my office, home studio. I still got a bit of a sinus thing. It's going to be a week on antibiotics as of Saturday. And I run out of my prescription tomorrow anyhow, so damn well better go away. The flight down here, I'm happy to say, no heads were exploding. There was no scanners type like. In fact, between me, my wife, and the 3 kids, other than traveling being a first world stress, because if you have the stress of travel, it's because you get to travel. It's the biggest pain in the ass on the face of the planet. Plus, we're all still somewhat under the weather. So we get on the plane, you forget to order water, and then we get on a fully booked plane and water starts being rationed like we're going through the desert. The lisp seems gone. Oh, I tell you, my lisp is not gone, sir. So we got here yesterday, and I gotta tell you, we landed in Florida, and I said, it's good to be home. And it felt weird because home now feels like Florida, and Florida now feels like home. So good afternoon. My goodness. And you fly one day. Like, it's a very funny thing. I guess news always develops at the speed of light. So whenever I travel, news is going to be developing at the speed of light. I travel on the Epstein document dump day. I'm not saying it's a nothing burger. I'm going to attenuate what it is, but I travel on that day, which is good to some extent because I can pick the brains of the wisdom of those who are assessing and digesting the release of the information. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Claudine Gay. We're going to talk about something else that I had in the backdrop. Oh, yes. The actual distraction. And by the way, okay, I'm going to open a parentheses. While I'm wearing the sunglasses and I get to act like an asshole, I'm going to act like an asshole. If I don't block people, period, full stop. If I were one of those temperamental, if you waste my time with this and that, I'm going to block you, yada, yada. I'm not like that. I'll never become like that. I hate it. I hate it when people take to social media to accuse me of following a distraction. Viva, the document dump is a distraction. Viva, the Claudine Gay story is a distraction. Viva, the Justin Trudeau, what was the last one, which I said might have actually very well been a distraction? He did something that was so irritating. I said it had to be a distraction. Either way, I hate that accusation because, first of all, it can be said all the time of everything, literally. If this is a distraction for what I think is important, and someone else is sitting out there saying, that's a distraction from what I think is important. I hate it. So it's frustrating. Don't do it. It's also just so juvenile. It can never be disproven. It's a distraction. Second thing, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can talk about the Claudine Gay story, which I will, as well as the Epstein document dump story, as I will, as well as what I do believe might be the bit of the distraction from the Epstein story. Trump took $7.8 million from foreign governments through his businesses during his presidency. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a distraction. That's a distraction from the Epstein story, which is making good Bill O'Clinton. Bill might have to ascend to like the realm of the Irish. We might have to start calling him Bill O'Clinton. Because his O-face, in retrospect, is making a lot more sense. Someone asked, is that the right mic? Well, that'll be irritating. Not the right mic. This is the right mic. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, now I'm in the right mic. At least I didn't get too far in. So you heard my rant in tinny mic audio. Now we got the good mic. Let me tell you something about what really grinds my gears when people tell me that's a distraction. Okay. So we got here. We're good. I got the dogs. The dogs are good. And by popular demand, and as risky as this is, oh yeah, boy. Oh yeah, here we go. Pudge, how are you doing? Did you have a good week? Oh, she smells so good. They gave her a bath. That's you right there. Okay, this is Pudge, alive and well. Here you go. Winston. Forget it. I'll get Winston in a second. Dogs are good. Oh boy. Slick Willie strikes again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's it. So okay, we're gonna get into this stuff. Actually, hashtag not a sponsor. I've now discovered that this is the only thing. This is the only caffeinated beverage that I think people should drink. It's carbonated water with caffeine and a little. I can't even read too close with my glasses on, with some vitamin stuff. Some of the stuff with sucralose upsets my stomach. Some of the stuff with 50 grams of sugar upsets my conscience. This True North stuff, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them as a sponsor. It's a good carbonated, caffeinated, calorie-free, and not because of artificial sweetener, just because it tastes like a little bit like bitter carbonated water. This one was lemon. It's good. Okay, so that's that. Oh no, intro. Good afternoon, Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler. I will do a vlog today as well about the Epstein documents dump in a slightly condensed standard car vlog. I put out a poll on Twitter, and it's a sincere poll. I'm going to ask locals afterwards and see if we get similar results. But what should I be focusing more on in the new year, 2024? Who was I listening to where they said, oh, it was Jordan Peterson. Like, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years and what do you have to start doing to get building on that now? What should I improve on? What should I work more on in 2024? More car vlogs, more long format interviews, a fixed schedule or other, let me know in the chat. And is the future bright? The future is so bright, Count D. Monet, that I have to wear my sunglasses during the day. Talking about distraction. It's a distraction. That's a temporal police. You're blocked. I'm joking. Okay, so now that's it. Montreal litigator turned Florida rumbler. I will be doing more car vlogs, but I sure as hell am not stopping with the live streams because I love them, because there's too much to cover, and covering one vlog in a day is inefficient. So let's do it. Claudine Gay, the Epstein document dump, and what it reminds everybody about, because ultimately there wasn't that much news in it, and Amos Miller. The intro video that we played, I have not yet spoken to Robert Barnes. Robert Barnes, for those of you who don't know, is representing Amos Miller. Amos Miller, for those of you who don't know, welcome to the channel, because we've talked about Amos Miller Farms at length. It's the Amish farmer out in Pennsylvania who's been getting effed by the Fed. He's been getting fed up. He's been getting, they put the F back in Fed. He's been getting effed by the Fed in so far as he's allegedly violating interstate rules of commerce as relates to his farm, violating FDA rules. And it's been a consistent, persistent persecution of Amos Miller, the Amish farmer. We've run fundraisers, or he's running fundraisers, selling his product. We've been selling it on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Robert is representing him, helping him get out of this trouble. But the Fed doesn't seem to be done with Amos Miller. It's like that line out of Magnolia. You might be done with the past, but the past isn't done with you. Well, that's the Fed. You might be done with the Fed, but the Fed ain't done with you. And so apparently they raided his farm, or they were at his farm yet again today, probably violating some alleged breach of what he's not allowed doing with his own meat, with willing patrons who are acting in full awareness of fact and law. We'll have an update on Sunday. We're back to our regular schedule. And that's it. I just wanted to raise everyone's awareness about that. Check out updates on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I haven't yet done it today, but I will. And that's it. Viva looks like he's trying to bring back the 90s grunge music. Well, now you can see my floodlighting. There's one. There's the other. You can see the dog. Let me make sure I have... Oh, you can see Marco Polo's report right there. Hold on. Can you... Where do you see that? No, that's the screen. If you look right here in this one, I think you can see the Marco Polo report. Right. No, it's the other side. There you can see it. Now I can see my hand. Very nice. That's the Marco Polo report on my desk. What else? Hopefully there's nothing that's too embarrassing. Something that's going to reveal any identification. Okay. We're going to end on YouTube after we cover Claudine Gay, and then we're going to go over to Rumble exclusively and talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And not because I'm scared of YouTube. I'm going to post that shit to YouTube afterwards. And then do a vlog, but that's it. Okay, let's see this here. Viva, you have to watch Dersh versus Murray and Eric W. His body language is guilty as hell, shakes head a lot, says yes, etc. He thinks Epstein killed himself. He thinks Epstein killed himself? Nobody thinks Epstein killed himself. I will watch it. And that was from Mithridate. Thank you. And then we got Bill tended to like them with cankles if Epstein had any traffic. No, Bill did not like them with cankles. I know we're all joking here, but Bill didn't like him with cankles. Bill liked them young, and Bill liked them like Monica Lewinsky, young intern, willing to humidify cigars in unorthodox ways. All right, and so for those of you who don't know, YouTube takes 30% of super chats. Rumble, we have Rumble rants there. Let's see. I think they take 0, and I think they said they're going to continue taking 0. I'll double check that. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. I might have just made a mistake. We're going to go over to Rumble in 2 seconds. I'm just making sure everything's good there. And now on vivabarneslaw.locals.com, I like car vlogs, says Bjorn_Freeman. Yeah, I think that is the hands down winner, and I think it's the best option. Because the car vlog, the shortened version, or at least, short episodic stories, much easier to share, much more consumable for those who don't have an hour and a half to sit here, listen to a crazy man rant at a camera. But for those of you that do. Okay, so we talked about it 2 days ago. Claudine Gay, the former president of Harvard University, wrote her resignation letter, has forced to resign as president. She's still on as a faculty, as a teacher, as I highlighted in our reading of her resignation letter. If you haven't seen that episode, it was Tuesday night. It was almost like she's rubbing in the face of everybody out there like, yeah, I'm leaving as president, and it's all, Whitey's fault. She didn't say that, but everybody else seems to be saying that. Whitey and the Jews. And I'm not even joking, by the way. Whitey and the Jews. That would be a good name for a country band. Whitey and the Jews singing "It's All Whitey's Fault." So she literally, I'm leaving. I would have loved to have been here. I was great at what I did. This is terrible. I must do it for the betterment of the university. But I'm still a professor. My door is always open. And apparently she's getting paid $900,000 a year, $900,000 a year. Nuts. Oh, it's nuts. So we're not going to go over all of that. The amount of idiotic takes on the internet. I've talked about this. You know, if I need to leave my glasses on because I have to pull up a link in a second. I can't say anything without them. The amount of soft bigotry of low expectations, or as I like to just call it, plain old bigotry. Like, to claim that the attack on Claudine Gay is racially motivated is to basically say that Claudine Gay had no choice but to plagiarize, allegedly. It's to basically say you can't criticize minorities for actual unethical behavior because it would be racist. And so it's basically to say we don't expect better ethics from ethnic minorities. That's basically what it is tantamount to saying, on the one hand. On the other hand, it's just dumb and wrong because Liz McGill, the white woman, was the first one to fall on the sword, to fall on her own sword. And that's like, nobody gave a shit when it was the white woman resigning. I mean, some people said, oh, it's just cancel culture. That's as far as it went with Liz McGill. White Catholic, I think she's Catholic. McGill? I don't know. Well, she's not Jewish because the third one who I don't remember, Kornbluth from MIT, she has yet to resign or be fired. I don't know what she said by way of an answer. So, if she said something equally as bad as the rest, I might be inclined to think there's some double standard treatment here, but I digress. Liz McGill, the white woman, was forced to resign first. Nobody gave a sweet bugger all. Nobody said boo above and beyond to try to make it look like all of a sudden now the right was into cancel culture. And I said, it's not cancel culture to force someone out of their job because they're incapable of doing it properly. That's called employment. That's called responsibility. That's called having a job. Canceling Liz McGill because someone snapped a photo of her in a furry, off hours doing whatever, that might be getting closer to cancel culture than firing or making Liz McGill resign because she could not unequivocally state that overt calls for genocide against whatever group is violative of the university's policies on bullying and harassment. You can't do your job if you can't answer that question. Nobody said boo when Liz McGill resigned. Claudine Gay resigns for reasons that are far different than Liz McGill. Alleged unethical plagiarism, not following her own, the university guidelines. Then it becomes racism. How is that not racism? To say that someone is shielded from complaints about lack of ethics because they're black. Is that to say that black people are prone to plagiarism? That you have to forgive a black president for accusations of plagiarism, but nobody gives a crap about the white woman that resigned 3 weeks earlier? So let's just highlight some of these wonderful, wonderful takes on the interwebs. Was it, here we go. Here, let me, and we're gonna notice something about these handles. The firing does suck, but not just as confirmation of white elite power. Just forget about Liz McGill, Devarian L. Baldwin. I mean, he's one of the Baldwin brothers, so he's got to be wrong. By the way, notice it, 2,300 following, 6,100 followers. Not that it matters, but I'm noticing a trend among these accounts. It's confirmation of white elite power. It also sucks because no matter how hard she carried water for Zionism, it's the Jews. They still got rid of her ass. This is a very academic way of talking. That's the message. No matter what you do, these folks ain't here for you. What do you mean, these folks? What do you mean, you people? Are you talking about Jews? No matter how hard she carried water for Zionism, she carried water so hard for Zionism, she couldn't unequivocally state that calls for genocide of Jews was violative of, thank you. My wife is looking at me like I'm a total nutcase. Oh. She was carrying water for Zionism so hard. Oh, that's so much better. She could not unequivocally state that calling for the death of Jews, genocide, violated the university's rules for bullying and harassment. And remember, everybody, the question was not, is from the river to the sea a call for genocide? That would be a subjective interpretation. The question was not, should you get expelled, or would saying from the river to the sea be violative of University of Harvard's rules on bullying and harassment? That wasn't the question either. Because if that were the question, and they said it depends on the context, I would say that's fine with me. I understand that it does depend on the context, because there's a great many people who use that expression unaware of what its origin was and do not use that expression in a genocidal context, but there are others that do. That wasn't the question. Punch. Quiet. I'm live. That wasn't the question. Is calling from the river to the sea a call for genocide? No, it was, is calling for the genocide of the Jews violent of the policy? Claudine Gay couldn't understand it. It's the Jews' fault that she got fired. Okay, that's one wonderfully hilarious take. Here's another one. What's this one? What's this? Let's see. They never respect intelligent black women because they see them as a threat. 5,000 following, 11,500 followers. That's a very high following to follower ratio. I don't know who this... I don't know who any of these people are. They seem to be writers. Black womanist. I don't know if that means she's black and of woman nature. They never respect intelligent black women because they see them as a threat. May I ask what in the name of holy, sweet, merciful hell you're talking about, Allison? She might be intelligent. She is black. She might be a woman. I'm not a biologist. The accusation was that there were multiple instances of plagiarism that violated Harvard's own policies on attribution. That has, smart or not, that was the accusation. But forget about Liz McGill. Whitey, she left. Forget about her. She represents nothing. It's when a black woman suffers the same consequence as a white woman, it's because she's black, and the white woman, it's irrelevant. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get that dog out of here. Get out. Oh, yeah. This is the perspective of all roads lead to racism. If you see someone's color, you're racist. If you don't see someone's color, white supremacy, you're racist. A white woman gets fired, irrelevant. Black woman gets fired, racism. It's an end point. It's not it's a starting point and an end point. It's an argument in reverse. It's motivated reasoning. They never respect intelligent black women because they see them as a threat. Which ones? Like Ketanji Jackson Brown? Ketanji Brown, which one is it? KBJ or KJB? Ketanji, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji, who can't tell you what a woman is because she's not a biologist. Like Kamala Harris, pontificates on the endlessness of time and space. Did I have that one here? But we got Rep. Jamal Bowman coming in. This isn't about plagiarism or anti-Semitism. This is about racism and intimidation. This makes no one safer. The pretext for forcing her was not so that people are safe. It might be so that students feel safe, that, students feel safe that if they ever do hear calls for genocide, they'll know definitively that's violation of our rules of university. The only winners are fascists who bullied a brilliant and historic black woman into resignation. First of all, why is black capitalized and woman is not? I don't understand it. But let me just say this to Jamal Bowman, as I did in the tweet. If you can't tell the difference between a emergency fire lever and a door handle, you need to never be allowed to speak on anything of importance ever again. You've disqualified yourself from the adult table. Jamal, you're an idiot or you are a liar, both of which exclude you from the adult table of discussion here. Oh, and by the way, it had to do with plagiarism and the inability to do her job properly. What did she cost, like Harvard, $1 billion in whatever the heck their endowments are? I don't exactly know how that works, but so that's another wonderfully brilliant take from a wonderfully brilliant man himself. He's a scholar. Can't tell the difference between an emergency fire lever and a door handle. But this is what I've been. We got another one. We got another one here. Ibrahim This is journalism getting closer to what truly happened and why the plagiarism allegations came not from her academic peers. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Ibrahim X. Kendi, 1,500 followers, 400,000 followers. So that's a more reasonably like non-bot, non-manipulated, non-managed account. Scholar, BU_tweets. I don't know what that means. Director, Anti-Racism Center. So you know he's going to be racist. Okay. Anti-hate out of Canada. You know that they're going to be the most vitriolic and hateful. Anti-racism. Unless that involves actually not seeing people by the color of their skin and not making determinations based on the color of one's skin, I'm going to go ahead and predict it's going to be the most racist stuff out there. Let's just see here. #1 New York Times bestseller, How to Be an Anti-Racist. Okay, I'm not going to read it. Listen to this. He says, and I'm presuming he's a he. He had no pronouns in his bio. It's very, very disconcerting. This is journalism getting closer to what truly happened and why. The plagiarism allegations came not from her academic peers, but from her political foes, led by conservatives who sought to oust Gay and put her career under intense scrutiny in hopes of finding a fatal flaw. And then we got the Associated Press article, which added context: plagiarism, a breach of rules of Harvard. Claudine Gay was ultimately forced to resign for a series of breaches of this policy. Plagiarism or application of the rules around plagiarism, therefore, cannot be considered a weapon. Might be a little argumentative. What do I care? But look at this. This is what I say. Like it's clearly one screen, two films scenario. The plagiarism allegations came not from her academic peers, but from her, well, let's say, but for her political foes. They say that thinking they've identified the problem in the accusations of racism, of plagiarism, and not actually because they've identified the problem of how allies get a pass and adversaries get persecuted. The problem here is that her allies would never have brought up any accusations of plagiarism because they are ideologically aligned. They give themselves a pass for all of their foibles and all of their wrongdoings and all of their sins. But anyone else who deviates from the litmus test of ideological purity would have the hammer of all rules and regulations thrown down on them. The plagiarism allegations came not from her academic peers, but from her political foes, led by conservatives who sought to oust her and put her career under intense scrutiny in the hopes of finding a fatal flaw. Oh, excuse me. You mean like the way New York is dealing with Trump's taxes or Trump's assessment of his own property? Oh, you mean exactly like that? Exactly like what the left does to the right every single time? Yeah, they're going after Trump for hush money payment to whatever her face is there, Stormy Daniels. I was going to say Stormy Brown. Who's Stormy Brown? Stormy Daniels. They go after him on a 39-charge indictment for hush money payments because he made hush money payments that he mislabeled in his ledgers of his books. 39-charge indictment. Hillary Clinton does the exact same thing, but worse, with concealing the fact that they paid for the Steele dossier, the opposition research, the bullshit, bunk, fabricated hoax of a dossier on Trump to start Russiagate. She lied about it, hid it, concealed the fact that they paid for it, and she gets a $8,000 fine and the DNC gets a $130,000 fine, and they walk off scot-free. That sounds like they are, let me see if I can apply the language here, placing intense scrutiny in the hopes of finding a fatal flaw in their foes that they don't apply to their allies. Has this one been up the entire time? The problem is that her ideological allies would give her a pass to the end of time, as they do with all of their own, and would use that very same weapon against anybody who deviates. Say a woman is a woman and a man can't be a woman at Harvard. They'll find plagiarism, people, guaranteed. Hashtag not a guarantee. Oh, okay. So we're going to end on this pretty soon but I wanted to highlight this. So this is just four examples of these accounts. Can we see this here? Yeah, we can. Of these accounts that are coming out in my feed. Now, admittedly, they're probably popping up in my feed because the algorithm knows that I interact with them. And so that's one good reason. Where the hell they came from. Lenora Houseworth wrote, "Dear Black women everywhere,
Black is capitalized and woman is not. I don't understand the identity politics logic here. Let all this shit burn to the ground. We did not create these horrible systems before crumbling before our eyes. Therefore, it is not our job to save anything or anyone anymore. Save yourself. Make maintaining your peace your main priority. That sounds like a less eloquent version of the Serenity Prayer. Okay, fine. She's got 2,500 followers, 2.3 thousand following, multi-creative wordsmith, wellness advocate. Okay. Then we got Mean Maria. So many white people have been caught plagiarizing and no one ever asked them to resign. First of all, that's factually incorrect, but don't let, bullshit get in the way of don't let truth get in the way of a good bullshit. There were many examples of white people, or I might just say people, forced to resign because of plagiarism. She's got 5,000 followers, 7.8 thousand, 5,000 following, 7.8 thousand followers, forensic scientists, ME investigator. I don't know what that means. Deputy coroner. Your white feminism will kill us all. Okay, interesting. Then we got Amber M. Neal Staley, PhD, 2.1 thousand followers, 1.5 thousand following. While I'm praying for the peace of Dr. Gay. Doctor. Political science. Bullshit. She'll be a Ms. Gay. No, she's married. Mrs. Gay. She'll be a Mrs. Gay. I'm holding black women, capital B black, lowercase w woman. It goes to show where the identity politics blinders of the left are these days. Women, irrelevant. I mean, anybody can be a woman. Of course, anyone can't be black. If you decide that you're black, you are a black-faced racist. You decide you're a woman, to quote Tom McDonald, you're stunning and gorgeous. Black women in academia so close. Oh, I love this. I'm holding black women in academia so close tonight. Oh, this is just a public example of what we deal with on a regular basis in this work. What, accusations of plagiarism? Here's an idea. Don't plagiarize. Give proper attribution if that's your job. They want to weather us down to dust. We have to have something that sustains our spirit. Okay, whatever. And last one here, Davari and Baldwin. That's one of the ones I covered. 2.3 thousand. This firing does suck. Oh yeah, it's the Jews. So it's a weird thing. And I'm becoming more and more inclined to believe that like social media, other than those that you know are in fact real people because you've dealt with them for a long time, you've seen some organic growth from nothing to something. You know you're dealing with a real person with real thoughts, real emotions, and not an account that is managed. Dude, I'm thoroughly convinced that a lot of these accounts are managed accounts that are fake, and they're being used to manipulate public sentiment, to create the idea, the expectation, the understanding that there's a debate out there that's being had that is actually not being had by anybody with half a brain. And so, I mean, it's disconcerting because like I like to engage with people. I don't want to engage with bots. And I'm getting more and more convinced that I'm engaging with managed accounts that are being used to manipulate public sentiment into believing that there are people out there saying Dr. Gay's resignation, Mrs. Gay's resignation is a product of racism when nobody with half a functioning brain could possibly believe that. It's like manufacturing consent of the social media age. Of course, what's that guy's name again? Noam Chomsky fell off the deep end of ideological insanity as well, but what are you going to do? All right, I think we've covered. I'm on a roll of gay. And wokeness. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, we're going to go over to Rumble, and then we're going to go over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Okay, hold on. Actually, before we do that, because I think I see a super chat. Good. Okay, so I got that there. Rumble rants. Wait, hold on. Why do I see 3 now? Okay, I see 3 Rumble rants. Hold on. Sorry, I just had to... I had to drain the sinuses. Gross. I went for a jog today. I don't know how long I went for, but I went for longer than normal because I knew that I was not going to do the push-ups when I get back because my face is going to explode. Still got a bit of a burning in the throat. Are we seeing this here? We are seeing this here. Okay, so let's get these Rumble rants. Slidey Pie. Viva. I thought Pudge was a pug. He doesn't look like a pug. His snout is too long. Pudge is a puggle. A pug and a beagle. Where is she? She's gone. She's also a she. And I learned through Pudge that when I can say it actually because it's technically true. When a bitch goes through heat, and I'm saying this scientifically as a female canine, when a bitch goes through the first heat, the vagina grows, and then even when you spay the female dog, I'll stop saying it, I feel guilty. Even when you spay the dog later, the vagina always protrudes more. It looks like an unfixed female. So Pudge was a rescue that my sister-in-law took, and then I ended up taking her from my sister-in-law after she got paralyzed. But Pudge is fantastic. I feel guilty. I like the way Pudge looks better than Winston. And other than that, I have no preference. I mean, I love both dogs equally. But no, Pudge is a puggle. Okay, Chet Chisholm. Chet, what's up? I have old friends who think Epstein killed himself. Impossible. It's impossible. They are the same old friends who think Trudeau is doing a great job and the truckers were Nazis. That should tell you what you need to know. We're going to talk about the Epstein, the suicide, because it's so outrageous that they think we're so stupid. Chet will get there in the Rumble side. J.M. Denton says, it's true that white people plagiarize without punishment and get promoted even. See Joe Biden. Well, okay, well, first of all, I don't think that has anything to do with whiteness. I think that's just because that's just an example of the left forgiving the left for plagiarism, and that's the problem. But Joe didn't really get away with the plagiarism. I mean, he did get elected, but he was called out like a mofo with that. But and then the other thing is this: like I still will give the benefit of the doubt when it comes to using certain expressions, which are sort of cliched expressions. He pushed me harder than I ever thought I could be pushed. You know, but also if her defense were just that I did not plagiarize, people come up with the same phraseology. The only problem is a lot of the stuff that she's accused of having plagiarized from, she cites as references, but just doesn't attribute the portion to. You know, she recommends for further reading the books from which she's alleged to have plagiarized. That's kind of a problem. It's not like contemporaneous co-creation of cubism between Braque and Picasso. Was it Braque who co-created Cubism at the same time? It was Picasso, and I think it was Georges Braque. Okay, whatever. We got Colorado Watch says free Palestine. Colorado, I don't think many people would disagree with you. The only question is going to be free Palestine from whom? It's an amazing thing. You can be pro-Palestinian and say, yeah, free Palestine from Hamas. That doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with the entirety and expansiveness of Israel's response. But yeah, I think everybody agrees. Free Palestine from their Hamas terrorist tyrants that are holding them hostage. Okay. It's true that white people... Oh, I missed the Rut Dog. Says, Kendi is a huge racist. He is the one who created critical race theory, and he promotes reverse racism in order to balance the scales. It's funny. I still consider myself new to this world where I don't know a lot of these people. And so I go look at their profiles, and I don't even think half of them are real, but I guess some of them are. Okay, Colorado Watch, I got yours. Mark Edmond, protect your own borders rather than Israel, Palestine, or Ukraine. I don't think many people would disagree with you on that. Or at the very least, protect your own borders as you are overtly protecting the borders of Ukraine and Israel. Even if you just said, don't neglect them, just apply the same rule to your own bloody borders and to your own people. I think a lot of people would already be in a happier with your policy than with the current policy of no Second Amendment rights for your citizens, no border protections for your citizens, but let's go arm up every second Ukrainian citizen and protect their border from Russia. Setting aside all of the more nuanced discussion about that conflict. But yep, Mark Edmond, don't think many people will disagree with you. Workin' Fool says CBC downplays list release and keeps comments turned off. I presume you meant. Yeah, okay, there it is. Workin' Fool off, I meant. Yeah, there's no question about that. It's a fucking joke. Have we ended? We haven't ended on YouTube yet? Okay, well, I've done that. Everybody, we're going to end on YouTube. Hold on, I'm seeing it. I'm hearing an ad for free Trump gold bars. Okay, I played something there. So come on, get your butts over to Rumble. The link is there. Oh, Barnes got the warrant. Nice. Okay, link to Rumble. And we're going to end this on YouTube in 2 seconds. And then link to Locals. And we'll have our after party there, and I'll save a couple of good stories exclusively for Locals. Link to Locals. Okay. We are ending on Rumble right after I check if we're still monetized on Rumble. Let's see. I've been good. I didn't swear all that much. Looks like we're still monetized on Rumble. On YouTube, sorry. With that said, fuck off. YouTube. I remember back in the day, you talk about Jeffrey Epstein, you get demonetized automatically on YouTube. That was my introduction to the YouTube chicanery. And then I said, I said it's not going to deter me from talking about Epstein, but if they're going to demonetize it, I'm just going to put out another video that will compensate for the monetization that those bastards at YouTube are going to take from me. So with that said, we're ending on YouTube. Come on over to Rumble, Viva Fry on Rumble, or Locals, vivabarneslaw.locals.com, and the after party on Locals. Well, hold on a second. I want to see the number go down one time on YouTube before we do this. 1335. 1296. We're done. Ending on YouTube.